Going on in his life. So let's not waste any time and welcome him in. Kelvin, how are you?
Yes, sir. Ariel, thanks for having me on, man.
A pleasure. It's good to talk to you again. Okay, so first things first, let's go back to Brazil. How did the cannabis get in your system?
Oh, man, well, I always stop a few weeks, I always stop consuming a few weeks before the fight. As I always have in all my fights, I didn't do anything different. I went on the fight thinking nothing was wrong,
Mm-hmm. And you've never had issues with...
I stopped weeks before,
Yeah. Do you remember the last time you smoked?
Well, yeah, it was before the fight.
Yeah, like it was 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, etc.
Yeah, well, I always stop 3 weeks before.
Okay. And is there a particular, do you just like doing it, or do you have a license? Is it for medical reasons?
Yeah, well, I found it helps better with pain and all the, really with just pain and sleeping, because we train so much. I hurt myself pretty much every day, so I'm in pain pretty much every day. So it's good to relax the muscles a little bit.
Yeah. And when did you find out that this had popped up in your post-fight drug test?
Shoot, I don't know. I'd have to say it was probably like a month after the fight. I got a call from my manager, Ali, and he told me that my levels were above the allowed limit. And I told him that's insane. I mean, how can that be possible? But because I didn't do anything different than I have in all my fights. And I've never had any issue with it.
And this was after the UFC announced you versus Anderson Silva in Rio. And that was a massive fight for you, big fight. You asked for the fight, all that stuff. And they were promoting it.
Correct.
How did you react? I mean, what was it like when you heard the news that you were getting pulled from the fight?
I was devastated. I still am devastated because it was a huge opportunity that I missed. And, I was dumbfounded, I guess. I was in shock. I was so devastated. I don't know. It's the only word I can think of, but I still am thinking about it.
And the crazy thing is that you got a 3-month suspension, and that suspension expires on June 11th, right? So you missed 212 by 8 days.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what sucks, and it's a shame, and it's a shame. It's a shame that I'm not allowed to fight. But I've already resolved the issue, and hopefully this is something we learn from and just something that we grow from. But I just don't know what they base off their THC threshold off of. But it's just a learning experience. I'm going to move on. I'm going to learn from it, and I've already. I'm not going to say who, or when, but I've already got something lined up, and I'm just waiting to announce it.
Oh wait, whoa. Okay, wait. Hold that thought for a second, because I still want to talk to you about this. You tweeted yesterday, "Suspension accepted, but I will never fight in Brazil again. All they want is money."
Sure.
That was you, right?
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, it was a big headache going back and forth with the Brazilian Commission. On top of what was already taken for me, they want to fine me 20% on top of that. And, I just think it was really unfair. And I was just really angry, and towards the commission, I want to make that clear because I hope not a lot of my Brazilian fans don't get mad. I was mad at the commission. It's been a headache dealing with the commission and trying to fight this battle. And, that's why I would never fight in Brazil, is because of the commission.
So you're done with Brazil. How much? 20%. How much are they asking to take?
Well, it was 20% of my entire purse.
Okay.
So it was a lot of money.
Yeah. And so are you going to pay it?
Yeah, well, I have to.
You're going to, oh man.
I have to. I'm going to have to, and then I'm getting a 90-day suspension.
Yep.
But now that I'm broke, I have to get another fight.
Great.
And that's exactly what's been done. I got a fight lined up in July. But I can't say against who or when in July.
And what do you mean? You say that you're broke right now?
I mean, not exactly broke, but I mean, after this very hefty fine, I mean,
yeah,
it was a hard punch in the wallet. Economically, it was a big punch.
Okay. Do you mind telling us how much?
I mean, that's something that I'd rather not say. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's going to get done. And I mean, it's going to be a big blow, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be able to train. I'm going to be able to do this. And I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I'm focused on my next opponent, and I'm focused on the task ahead of me. And I hope I can get just past all this.
Yeah.
And just learn from it.
Uh-huh.
I'm not a type of guy that just sits back and just waits for things to happen. I fought this, and I was fighting this last few weeks, and it's been a hard few weeks. Personally, I've had problems with my family. I've had problems, with the commission, with my employer, and I've been talking to Dana White, and he's pissed. As well, and so it's just caused me a lot of headache, and I'm just ready to move past it.
And I'm sure you would agree with this. It seemed like after the Belfort win, it was all coming together. We even talked about this on your show, like the New York incident, all of that. Like it was all coming together for you, right? Leading to the Anderson fight, the biggest fight of your career, and then something like this happens, and it's somewhat controversial because a lot of people feel like marijuana shouldn't even be on the ban list, right? Do you feel the same way?
I agree. There's so many other substances that people use that they still allow in the fight, and people still take a lot of things that shouldn't be allowed. And I mean, I'm not going to get into it as to who's cheating and what they're taking, but I know there's a lot of people cheating, and they still allow it.
Well, what was, if you don't mind me asking, and feel free if you don't want to answer, but what was going on with your family?
Well, for one, my mother was just hugely devastated and disappointed in what had happened, and that's one of the persons that I care about the most is my mother, and if she's not okay, then I'm not okay, and it just is what it is. It's just caused me a lot of headache, a lot of heartache as well.
Did she not know that you smoked weed?
No. She doesn't know that I consume. No.
Okay. Yeah. And so did they try to, like, you got 3 months, which, in the end, it cost you that fight, but the good news for you is the suspension is up essentially in a month, right? It's up, a month and 3 days. Did they try to, initially, were they saying they're going to suspend you for 6 months, a year? Like what were the initial, things that you were hearing as far as your punishment?
Yeah, it was going to be 6 months to a year for my punishment.
Jesus.
Yeah. So right away, I wanted to fight this, hopefully get it down and get the fine down, and hopefully not have to go through this. Because they said that my THC levels were high, that I must have been consuming the day of the fight, and I told them they were crazy, and I was super pissed because that's insane. I would never do that.
Wow. So they actually believe that you were doing it in Brazil.
Yeah.
Wow. And you don't appreciate that.
Not at all. Not at all. when people try and tell you you're this and you're that, and it's not appreciated when it's not true.
Yeah. And for the record, you did not smoke while you were in Brazil.
No, not at all.
Wow. And have you ever, like, I don't know, in the past, you know, the testing is different and whatnot. I mean, have you ever felt like stress or in pain before a fight, and the week of the fight, you've been forced to, you know, smoke marijuana so that you can relieve some of that stress or pain? Has it ever come to that for you?
No, never, man. I'm never forced to do anything, you know,
yeah.
First of all. But no, I've never, all my fight weeks have either been really good or really bad.
And so where do we stand now? You say that you have a fight, like it's booked, it's signed, it's done, it's agreed by both sides?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, it's signed by me at least.
Wow. So you were saying not that long ago on Twitter, I saw you write on Twitter, "Hey, Anderson, accept the fight in New York, July 22nd. Is that the fight?
No.
It's not the fight.
No, I wish.
That's the one you want.
That's the one I want, but it's not the fight. I can't say who or when, but I wish it was that fight.
And why isn't it the fight? I mean, if Anderson agreed to it, now you know he's upset he's not fighting in Rio.
Well, he got offered the fight, but I think he turned it down for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a middleweight fight?
Yes, sir.
Is it on that same card?
That is it. No.
Oh, it's not on that same.
That's all you're getting. That's all you're getting. That's all you're getting from me, Ariel.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm just so tempted because you put it out that you said you had it, so you can't expect me not to ask, right?
Yeah, no.
Do you like the fight? Do you like the fight?
I'm not sure what it does for my career, but I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
So you're not like over the moon here?
No.
Okay.
It's a good fight. I hope people like it.
Okay. If I name names, would you tell me if I'm right or wrong or how?
No, never. No, never.
You're going to Dallas, though.
What's that?
You're going to Dallas for the UFC 211, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go check out the fight. I'm gonna be there as a guest fighter, so hopefully people come check it out.
Are you going to be a part of that big press conference on Friday?
I'm not sure. I'm not really aware of a press conference.
You're so secretive, Kelvin. You're like a vault.
Come on, man.
Fair enough. I don't want to get you in trouble or anything.
Come on, man.
Do you think that a time will come where marijuana is removed from the ban list? Do you think this is going to happen, or do you not foresee that?
Yeah, I think so. Eventually, you know, and the time needs to be now.
Yeah.
You know, so there's so many benefits for the plant, for the medicine, that a lot of fighters take it. A lot of fighters consume it and use it for medicinal purposes.
Yeah.
You know, I think eventually, I think the NFL has even been in talks with it, with about removing it from the banned substances list, and hopefully every other sport follows the same.
Do you have a medical marijuana license in the state of California? I know you can. I mean, the Diaz brothers talk about it all the time. Do you have the same?
Right. Yeah, I do.
See, this is always the tricky thing for me because, like, how do they know when, if it's legal where you are living, right, in the state that you're living, if you have the right to do it, how do they know where it happened? That's the tricky thing. There's no real way. I mean, of course, the higher the levels I know, the more recent it probably happened, but they don't know, you know, in which country you were standing in when you smoke the marijuana. That's the tricky thing about marijuana.
They don't know when. They don't know much. They just found metabolites of it and the traces of it, and decided that I had done it that same day as the fight. And that's what gets me so mad, is that they keep putting words in my mouth, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
When they keep making these things up.
And this issue, like the suspension of the 3 months, the fine, this was with the Brazilian commission. Do you also have to handle something with USADA as well?
Well, yeah, USADA's gonna follow the same.
Okay.
The same agreement as well.
Okay, so the 3 months, and then you're done.
Correct.
And you have to pay. You don't have to pay USADA though, right?
I don't think so. I hope not. No, I don't.
No. Where does that money go? Do you know?
Which money?
The fine, the 20%.
Do I know where it goes? I don't know where it goes. I'm sure it goes to all the doctors that work so hard there.
Are you being sarcastic?
I guess.
It should go to charity, don't you think? That'd be nice.
I mean, it should go somewhere useful. I mean, like, the economy right now in that country is not doing very well.
Right. It's funny because not that long ago, you were the one saying, like, I want to fight in Brazil. I love fighting in Brazil, right? Like, you were like the lone American saying that you wanted to fight. Now you're saying I'm done with Brazil.
I love Brazil. Are you kidding me? I'm going to go and visit there as many times as I can. But am I ever going to fight there? That's a whole different story. I'm never going to fight there.
You were even going into the favelas and hanging out with the people.
Yeah. I'm almost an adoptive citizen there of Brazil.
Crazy. Do you think the Anderson fight is ever going to happen?
I'm not sure, man, but I was really hoping for that fight. He got offered a fight, and it seemed he didn't take the fight. Somebody else did. So I was kind of disappointed.
Does the person's name rhyme with Robert Sittaker?
I can't tell you nothing, man.
All right. And you know, I don't know if you saw this, but you got a lot of support from people online. I saw a lot of fighters, Dan Hardy, a lot of fighters tweeting about it, a lot of, fans, I'm sure. Have you seen this? Does it make you feel at all better?
Not really.
Okay.
Kind of. It'll be cool if everybody. It's kind of cool that people are supporting me, but things happen the way things happen.
Sure.
I got pretty much the worst punishment that I can have.
In terms of what? Because you lost out on the fight?
Yeah, I lost out on a lot and a lot of money. It cost me almost $100,000. This mistake.
Really?
So. It hurts. It hurts a little bit.
And the other ironic thing is that the Brazilian commission is also losing out because not having Anderson on the card for 212 definitely hurts the card in terms of ticket sales and interest and all that stuff. And they're missing out by 8 days. They're almost shooting themselves in the foot here.
Right. I don't know what's going on over there. They were a headache to deal with, man. I'm telling you, some issues going on over there, but it's a whole different story, man. But I do not like the way they handle the situation. And I'm never going to fight there again.
And was there any talk of trying to modify the suspension so that you could fight on that card? Like 2.5 months, 2 months, I don't know.
There was some talks, but no, it didn't come to fruition.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was too.
Well, I appreciate you coming on and talking about this. I know it's not a very and where you. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it's been a headache, man. It's been pretty hard,
How are you feeling now? Like, do you feel like now that the suspension is out, that you can sort of see? You've agreed to another fight and all that, as you said. Do you feel like you're starting to get back on track, or are you still feeling a bit down about the whole situation? Like it's hard to get motivated. No,
I'm back on track, man. I'm back. Okay. I'm back in the game. Back in the game. I was down on myself for the last few weeks, but I'm back. I'm not the type to just lay down and let life stomp on you. I'm a fighter, and that's what I do.
Mm-hmm. And are you gonna stop smoking marijuana now?
Well, we're gonna have to regulate it.
Okay. Meaning you're going to have to be extra careful?
Right. I can stop. Absolutely. But there's just, I like consuming it for the reasons that it helps with the pain, and it helps relax the body. It helps relax the muscles, helps with the inflammation in the muscles, for sure.
Yeah, and that's why you have a license, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Well, again, I'm very sorry, but I'm happy to hear that you got another fight. I'm sorry that it's not the Anderson fight, but good to see that they booked you rather quickly and that you'll be back on track, and hopefully we'll see you out there in Dallas. Again, thanks for coming on the show, Kelvin, and talking about this. And I know a lot of people are in support of you and would like to see these rules modified a little bit.
Yeah, I agree, man. Thank you for having me on, and thanks for hearing my side a little bit, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon on a better note, on a lighter note.
Yes, absolutely. And by the way, just to clear, do you want to say anything else about the situation, or do you feel like you got your story out as well as possible?
No, I mean, I just like to get past it, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate all the support from everybody. So
okay, cool. All right. Thanks. Well, I appreciate it, Kelvin. Thanks for the time today, and safe travels out to Dallas this week.
Thank you very much, man. Take care.
Right. There he is, Kelvin Gastelum, stopping by a strange one, an unfortunate situation, because they initially said that he had over the limit, which I believe is 180 nanograms per milliliter. I'm not the expert that I pretend to be on camera when it comes to these issues like cannabis, metabolites, and smoking marijuana and whatnot. But there are people who say that if you have more than that in your system, that means you smoked the marijuana close to the fight. I don't know. Crazy things happen. I know if a guy has a medical marijuana license in the state in which he lives, I feel like there should be some rules protecting that individual. Kind of like a therapeutic use exemption. You get what I'm saying? I mean, if they were handing out therapeutic use exemptions like they were, crackers at my son's preschool, and let's talk about the commission here, that we're speaking about the Brazilian commission. I mean, the Brazilian commission turned a blind eye to a lot of stuff not that long ago. And now we're going to haggle over some marijuana. And again, as I said, the irony here is that Anderson was going to fight on the card, and now he's not fighting on the card because of this issue. Now, I'm not trying to be like, Mr. Pirate here, where I'm going against the establishment. I'm not trying to be anti-establishment, but we're talking about marijuana here, which I do not believe is a performance enhancer. In fact, I think you can make the case that it's a performance dehancer. I haven't done much under the influence, but let's just say he smoked on Friday. What's the big deal? Do you really think that's the reason why he beat Vitor Belfort? Come on. So I do feel for Kelvin. I'm happy he got his fight. Really wanted to see that fight against Anderson Silva. I remember we talked about it on this show. A very unfortunate situation, but it appears, at least for now, that the fight is not going to happen. By the way, he did tweet that he was going to Dallas, and then his manager, Ali Abdelaziz, retweeted that and said, "I can't wait, big news." So let's see. I have a feeling that a lot of fights are going to be announced in the next few days.